Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Austin. I want to start off. I'm 26 years old. I've been recently diagnosed with IgA nephropathy. I would say a little over 3 months now. Well, where should I start? I started, one day I decided to check my blood pressure at home just for, giggles, just because there was one laying around and, we were just, I think it was me, my buddies, and we were just checking blood pressures, and then it got around to me, and I checked mine, and it was like 180 over 110, and I was like, oh, whoa. So I freaked out, of course, checked it again, still high. So now I'm thrown into a panic mode, and I realize I'm dealing with high blood pressure, so I schedule, an appointment with my primary, and I go to the appointment, they check it, still high. They asked me if I had any issues going on at home, which at the time we had a 1-year-old son, and on top of that, working, being young, because I was only 21 at the time. So they just immediately assumed anxiety. So I'm like, okay, so you guys are the professionals, I'm gonna listen to you. So anyway, we go with that. I get prescribed Xanax with buspirone, I want to say it was. I was taking that for about 2 weeks. Just still felt awful, and still was monitoring my blood pressure. Even when I'm like relaxed, calm, nothing going on, and it was still extreme high. So I called the doctor, let him know what's going on, and they take me off. Well, actually, they keep me on the anxiety med and then put me on lisinopril. I want to say 20 milligrams at the time. Started taking that. Week went by. Started having an allergic reaction to lisinopril. Facial swelling. My lips were swelling up real big and just real noticeable that I was allergic to it. So went to the ER for that. Got a shot of I can't remember what it was, something for the allergic reaction. But anyway, go back to tell my primary that I'm allergic to it. So they switched me to I want to say at the time they took me off the anxiety meds and then put me on, I want to say it was amlodipine and a water pill that, like, I think it was called hydralazine. Not hydralazine, it was, I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, it was amlodipine and a water pill because of the edema in the legs and all that. Anyway, I'm taking it, still not working, still got blood pressure running crazy numbers, running and still running like 180 to 200 over 100, 110, still getting ridiculous numbers. And I keep being told that this is just, years go on, because this started back in 2019 and this is 2023 now. So I've been battling. I finally got answers here recently in 2023, early 2023, and but this whole time that I've been battling my blood pressure, I've been told 100 times this is genetics. We're fighting genetics, and we just got to figure out a medicine. Blah, blah. We just got to find the right medicine, which, they're the professionals, and I took his word, and we tried multiple medicines, so nothing was working. So I had enough of this primary care doctor, so I switched to another one, hoping to get answers, hoping that someone can open a door for me and help me. So I get a new primary, and he does the same thing. Realizes blood pressure's still high. Puts me on. I wouldn't say he puts me on the same medicine the other one did, but just added another one. But anyway, the list goes on and on. He's telling me it's genetics. That's the biggest word I've heard through the midst of it all was genetics. And to myself, I know my body. I know what I feel. So I know. I knew I was right, that something else was wrong, but at the same time, I can't go against their word, because they're the medical professionals, and you can't really argue too much with that, because they dedicated their life to that, and they did years of school of that specific area. So anyway, still taking the meds, hoping, like I'm exercising, I'm dieting, I'm doing everything possible that would, like, I made a drastic change in my life. Like, from I was running every day, I was eating right, I was cutting out carbs, sugars, drinking strictly water, and lost a lot of weight. I think at the time I lost down to 20 pounds, which I wasn't heavy at the time. It was the beginning of it all anyway. I mean, I was up to maybe 215, which is pretty big for my size. But I dropped 20 pounds. I was doing celery diet. I was not the celery, it was a celery juice diet. Cause I was juicing. I was doing everything that I felt like I was supposed to do. So one day I was working for this tree company, which requires you to get a DOT physical, which in this physical they make you pee in a cup. And well, I pee in the cup, and I'm thinking everything's fine. I know my blood, they check your blood pressure. I already knew my blood pressure was high, so they warned me about that. But I pee in the cup, and they noticed quite a lot of blood in the urine. A lot of blood in the urine. And they were pretty concerned. Like, by the looks of their faces, that they were pretty concerned. And so not only that I at that time I'm worrying about my blood pressure, now I have to worry about, why is there blood in my urine, and why am I not getting passed to drive a truck? Now I'm in I'm in a different world now, because like I'm messed up. I'm like, because I don't know what's going on. So I schedule an appointment with my primary care again, and let him know what's going on now that I have blood in my urine. He tells me that it's either from the water pill that I'm taking that's causing dehydration, And dehydration, of course, you know, sometimes leaks blood into the urine. And then I was told my high blood pressure is causing blood in my urine. So I'm like, okay, well then how can we figure this out? You know, and I want to say at the time we took me off the water pill, kept me on the blood pressure medicine, and just never really heard anything else about it. I mean, it didn't seem like a concern to him, because in his words was I was young, you know, still healthy. So they were wanting me to, you know, do lifestyle changes at the time. So I got rid of him, you know. And then I went back to the primary that it all started with, and told him about, you know, with the blood in the urine, this and that, and he told me the same thing. Genetics, it could be the hydration, it could be medicine, but we'll just continue to, you know, monitor it, and you know, at this point I keep getting told the same thing over and over. So I just, you know, at this point I had enough of it. I quit going to the doctor because I felt like I wasn't getting answers. You know, I was making multiple ER trips to get help from the ER, and I get released from there because they're telling me I'm having a panic attack, or you know, it's either a panic attack or I need to follow up with a primary. Well, my primary's not helping. So I'm literally like, I was stuck. Like, I felt lost. I felt like nobody was trying to hear me. And it just, because I knew at the end of the day, I knew there was something wrong with my body. But I kept getting told it was genetics. So finally, one day, I want to say, I got to think about the day. I want to say it was early February of this year, of 2023. I just decided, you know, I was going to do my routine workout. Well, something just felt off. You know, I felt lightheaded. Body was hurting. I thought I had COVID. You know, took a COVID test, tested negative. So I was like, so I told my fiance, I told her, I said, you know, I'm going to the ER and get this checked out because, you know, I don't feel well. So I get there, they check my vitals, blood pressure's 215 over like 120, you know, like ridiculous, like stroke numbers. And what else, you know, and they checked, you know, and I told them about, you know, the blood in the urine and all that and everything I just been battling through the years with primary care, is just telling me and brushing it off like it's no big deal. So I finally tell them what's going on, and luckily, thank God, the doctor that was at that ER, you know, did what he was supposed to do. He, of course, checked my blood pressure. You know, he seen it was high. And then I told him about the blood in the urine, so he wanted to run, you know, a bunch of, you know, tests, and whatever came back and whatever he seen, he said, look, because at the time it was a small little walk-in ER, and then he came in and he said, look, you're not leaving. You're leaving, but you're not leaving. You're leaving here in an ambulance. So I get rushed from that small little clinic ER to the big hospital, And, you know, I get there, you know, I still got crazy high blood pressure. I think at the small one they gave me like nitroglycerine. The worst headache I ever had in my life. Um, but besides that, you know, they were giving me all these other meds. They were giving me, I think, when I was at that big hospital, I don't want to say any names, but when I was at the big hospital, I think I was on 4 or 5 different blood pressure medicines, and none of them were budging. I mean, they were bringing it down slightly, but nothing like, you know, normal level. Just, you know, what the average, you know, 120/80, but they were trying to get it down to at least 140/85. Couldn't get it. It was staying between, you know, 165, 170 over, like, you know, well over 100. So, they're curious, they're wondering, so they wanted to do, you know, a 24-hour urine sample where I would pee, you know, I would pee in a jug for 24 hours and run a test on that. They did the, I want to say they did the ultrasound, which looked fine. Nothing on, like, they didn't see any cysts or nothing crazy like that. They looked at my bladder. Bladder was fine. You know, heart, you know, of course they're going to check the heart because of the blood pressure, and, you know, heart was fine, you know, luckily. And so everything looked fine. So something wasn't adding up about this whole situation. So they get a kidney doctor in there, which, thank God for him, he's been a blessing through it all. And get a kidney doctor in there, and he calls for a kidney biopsy. So we do a kidney biopsy, and we do the kidney biopsy. We wait, you know, we wait for results. It comes back, and that's when they find out that I have, I want to say that at the time they want to say that it was 40% scarring, 40 to 50% scarring already done to the kidneys. So let me backtrack. You know, I started having these issues in 2019, and here I am in 2023, finally getting answers for, you know, for my issue that I, you know, been wondering about. Like, so anyway, they get results back, and I have kidney issues. You know, I pretty much, you know, I think I think at the time he said stage 3, you know, kidney failure. Pretty much, I'm at stage 3, and if we don't do something now within 2 years, I'll be in complete kidney failure. And it was scary getting that news, because, you know, it's like they dropped like, I watched a video earlier, she said, related to this, it dropped the bomb on you, which they pretty much did, because, you know, you've been wondering this whole time, like, wow, what is wrong with me? And you get told that you have, you know, stage 3 kidney failure, and if you don't do nothing now, then you'll be on dialysis, and you'll need a transplant, and so forth, and, you know, I'm scared, and my family's scared. You know, everybody's worried. We don't know what's gonna happen, but thank God for the doctor that I have. He's been wonderful through it all. He's definitely, he's helped me out a lot, and gave me a lot of comfort and hope, you know, because, you know, it's tough getting, you know, that kind of news. and not knowing what to expect. So, and guys, I don't know if this helps, because I know it's a rare disease, and and I've been taking trips back and forth to Gainesville, Florida, to Shands Hospital, and they've been testing for other things. But at this point, my kidney doctor here in town, where I'm from, he's 80% sure it's IgA nephropathy. So he's going with that until we get results back for the other rare testing. But I just wanted to kind of, tell my, shed a little light on my story, because I don't want it to go unspoken and unheard, because, I know a lot of people are dealing with this, and it's tough. It's tough because, there's not a lot of people you can talk to about it, because not many people understand what you're going through, because it's painful, and, you're always tired, and you're hurting, especially when you got a family. You've got a job, you got people that depend on you. So, but not only do you have them to depend on you, you have yourself to depend on. Now you have to remain positive through it all. So I just want you guys to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and just things will get better. I know it's rough right now, but I truly believe that things will get better. And so I just, and I want, in the comments, if you guys can, just give me your opinion on, what matters should I take, as in, dealing with my primaries, neglecting, why did it take this long, to finally get a diagnosis, to go to the ER and get a diagnosis. I just kind of want, I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on that too, because how would you go about it, that you went this long with, that could have been caught, what is it, so, about 4 or 5 years ago, it could have been caught, and I could have been at a lower percentage, and I could still have, better kidney function. But instead, it was neglected, and I was told it was genetics. So I just curious what you guys would think about that situation. But I got approved for Tarpeyo, which is, immunosuppressant. So this is my second day on it. So far, not really any terrible side effects, maybe a little body aches. I don't know if that's just, from my, the kidney function or what, but other than that, I haven't really had any terrible side effects. Like I said, it's my second day. But I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated on it, especially with whoever's, starting on it, whoever's new to it, because I know it's a new drug, but I want to definitely keep people informed on it, because I know there's not a lot of information on it. And I just, I kind of wanted to just shed a little light on my situation, and just know you're not alone. And I'm praying for you guys, and things will get better. God bless.